Shut
Okay, here we are. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Here we are again with my favorite person in the whole freaking planet, Zander.
It's only because I kick your ass.
Yeah, I know. It's funny because it's like I kind of want to tell people that I just got berated, but not really.
Tell
No.
Tell them. No.
They don't need to know my life. Look, guys, here's the deal. Get yourself a coach that's going to call you on your shit. Because seriously, it's worth so much more than you'll ever pay. I promise you. That shit like comes up and you got to make it happen. You have to get a coach. And not one that, you know, kind of calls you out right before you start a live broadcast.
Because I miss you. It's my version of a kiss.
It's just like, all right, so I'm excited to talk to you today. There's a couple of things that have been coming up lately, and one that I know you're an expert at speaking to, and that is, so I'll backtrack a little bit, just to give you a little bit of context. I was, you know what I do, you know my background and stuff, and so one of the things that I encountered a lot in the beginning of teaching, you know, being a yoga teacher, being, you know, having this career, was that I felt like I was an imposter. Like I felt totally inadequate standing in front of people, leading them through a class, because I'm like, who am I? Blah, 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 like all this stuff. And, you know, what I found is that, you know, the more and more people I spoke to, and after now that I'm a teacher trainer and I lead people through these trainings, that's the number one thing that always comes up. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, well, I have a little bit of experience, but let me tell you, I know somebody who can really speak to this. So here we are. Thank you for being here. You're the best.
So first of all, I'm going to make a joke. I think the ticket onto the planet is a lack of belief in oneself, right? I don't think anybody really got here with a belief in oneself, right? Because, you know, when you're becoming, like you're becoming an adult, you're becoming a mother, you're becoming a yoga teacher, right? You're not already the thing you're becoming it.
Right.
Okay. And on the way to becoming is a very good question that we ask ourselves, which is about to lead into what I teach. Okay. So you ask yourself as you're becoming something, am I going to be good enough to do this? Am I like you? And so the joke that I make is humans never get out of the state of am I ? Am I good enough? Am I capable? Am I like, so how we chase our dreams is in the very wrong state of asking ourselves at all times, am I good enough to keep this marriage? Am I good enough to lose weight? Am I good enough to get into that college? Am I good enough to get that job I want? Am I? And then we chase it. And then we get it. And then we like feel good for, what do you think, Rosie? How long do you think you feel good for?
I don't know, like 10 seconds.
Because then it comes right back. Right. And so it's called the imposter syndrome. Like nothing is ever enough for us. Ever. Okay. So humans, are we all human? Did we all get the ticket in? Do we all have this?
Yes.
Everybody say, raise your hand. I do. Oh, we married it. Okay. All right. So then you go, well, what in God's name fixes it? Is the opposite of it. Right. And so when I figured this out, I was doing, holy shit, I'm in the MIs. And I even call them the MIs. Right? Versus, am I? Okay. Versus I am, fill in the blank. So am I ? And then you chase the answer and then you fill the hole for like a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I am, and then fill in the blank. I am the best wife. I am a rock and roll yoga teacher. I am. And then you go do it. Right? So one is a question mark and prove it, like, can I? And then you can, and then you feel better for a minute, and then you keep going that way. Versus I am, fill in the blank, and then show it. show yourself, show others. So one's literally, you have a question, which is like a hole in the chest. You go out into the world, you prove something, and then it fills the hole for half a second. Okay, so am I has a hole in it. Am I good enough? I go out in the world, I do a great yoga class, I get an A on the exam, I get the guy to call me, like whatever your am I? And then he calls and you feel better for the 10 seconds. And then the next question comes up. Okay, humans, that is a state of being. It is a way to chase things you want in your life. It will never go away if you do that, right? It works. It's even worse. It works. Does that make sense, Rosie? Any questions about that before I explain the other state?
No.
Okay, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're a bunch of junkies, right? Chasing am I. Okay, and then fill in the blank, feel better for a minute, and keep going, right? And then once upon a time, you charge $25 for a ticket, and now you charge $100. Like, and as you grow, it never loses ever because you keep growing. You keep wanting more. And so the question just never feels satisfied because it's always leading you and leading you and leading you and never happy. Everybody get that? Those are the MIs, question mark. It's a functional model. It will always work. Here's the opposite. I am fill in the blank. I am great. I am sexy. I am happy. I am funny. I am, you fill in that I am, okay? And then what that means is you don't have a hole, right? Mm-hmm. You're like, I am something, and then you're gonna mirror it out into the world, right? And you're gonna see, you're gonna prove, you're not proving something to see if it's true. You're showing something until you're satisfied. So it's from the inside out. I am is a declaration. It's a stance. It's arrogant rather than humble. Okay. So, and so this is when I start to insult humility. Everybody weird out, get really weirded out. What do you mean you're going to insult humility? So we all play very humble. Like the good guys are humble and they want to prove something before they believe something. The arrogant, funkier people that are a little different go, I am something, right? And then they like seem arrogant that they're like show-offs. They're like, so the good guys think humility is right. Where the bad guys are like, do you know who I am?
Right.
Okay. And so I have noticed over my entire career to get someone like you to go, I am, or for me to go, I am, without like proving it and hoping it's true. And then someone clapping, like I feel like a good guy by being in the MIs versus I am is a cocky mother. Okay. So if you're a good guy and most people watching you are over the top good guys, caring about yoga, caring about people's space, meditating, eating right. Like, oh my God, you are the good guys. For God's sakes, you need to get crazy arrogant about what you are. I am. Okay, so that's the big how to shift out of the imposter syndrome. It's a little heady and it really requires some good work on the individual's part to shift. But the final thing I'll say before you start asking me questions to help me is if you ask yourself at any moment, when you're with a guy, when you're trying to get a job, when you're teaching a class, you can always tell your energy. Am I standing in am I? Or am I standing in I am? So you can always ask and then the interesting part is you can shift the energy in a split second. Like, oh, I'm in am I? I'm hoping they like me. I'm hoping I do a good job. I'm hoping versus I'm doing, I'm showing. I am. Neither one knows if it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I doesn't know, and I am doesn't know. Neither one has the answer.
Mm.
One just feels much better.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, you let me know when I can ask questions.
I'm done. I'm going to be quiet because that was the whole concept, and now we can banter.
No, I like that. I think it's a great exercise in self-efficacy, I think, right? So I think that it's important to understand the grades of the I amness, right? To define whether it's like you're being cocky or you're being too humble, right? And so considering that, we're all the good guys, will it ever happen where it's like you're a good guy and you're like in the I amness, but then all of a sudden you turn into like Kanye or something? You know what I mean?
It would be a miracle if the good guys got that far. I'm like, okay, let's worry about that when the really good guy who I am'd got all the way to turning to the other side.
Right.
Like, yeah, that would be a great problem. May all of you have it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Like, I am not worried about that. That is the least of our problem, that we're going to go so far. Like, you're going to turn into a Kanye. So cocky.
I almost feel like it's a little bit of a crutch for people to use that, like, oh, I don't want to seem like I'm too arrogant, or I don't want to seem like I'm not humble, so I'm just going to continue to dim myself down. Right. And then continue to, or they think it's humble to say, oh, I don't know, like, was that okay? Was that okay? We talked about this last time, I think. It's like, was that okay? Like, did that, was that good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you covet what you're committed to being, like you are, that you're committed to something. I am a great mother. I'm a remarkable mother, right? How many kids have I already had? Like, you understand, there's no choice in the truth that you can't know.
Right.
Right. So there's no way out of the difference, right? Like, am I a great mother? Am I great today? Or I am great today. I think one feels very different than the other, and one actually thinks smarter than the other. If I was a great mom, like, I'm committed to being a great mom, I am a great mom. And then if I am a great mom and then, oh my God, I just yelled at my kid, holy shit, I was not a great mom. I need to hurry up and go back and be a great mom, right? Or if you go, am I a great mom? And then, oh my God, I yelled at my kid. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? I'm not a great mom, right? So in the truth about which is smarter, which makes more integrity, which will produce better results over time, given the mystery is never getting answered. In my history over my 20 years of coaching, one, it feels better to be an I am than an am I. And the other is I am is a much smarter context. Like, I am. It's just, it's a state of mind and being. Mm. And the question never really ever gets satisfied. Am I good enough? It never is satisfied. Right? It always needs more proof. I am is showing something is true. Am I is proving something could be true. Neither is true. Right? We get, like, one just is smarter. It's more fun.
Yeah.
Either way, there's still tomorrow. What do you know about tomorrow? Nothing.
No.
Right? How do I know if I'm a great mother? I don't. Right? Like I think my kid gets to say over the next 40 years until she buries me whether I was. It's not even my own definition. It's like up to her and what I would say about it, and maybe my husband, right? Or the brothers and sisters, right? So given how loose and interpretable it all is, as someone who helps people stand for things and cause things they want in their life, I'm just pointing out something that doesn't work about us when we're in a state of humility or hope and proving versus being and showing.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems like it's way more, I mean, it's empowering to be able to be in that mindset and in that frequency, as opposed to being in that questioning or feeling the influx of not knowing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And if you're like, how many CEOs that you coach need this advice and need reminding of this? Because they're leading something they've never led before. They're building something they've never built before. I think I do this conversation once a month, over and over and over again, with people you would go, them? They need this? Right? You like, how big's their organization? How many people? Because it's never ending. Growth and development is like, when are you done growing and developing? Right. Exactly. That day is not coming.
Yeah.
Right?
So for everyone that's watching, and you're really giving us a lot of really great tools to implement, with the I-amness. What are some practical things that people can start to implement in their life to start feeling the happy of the I-amness?
So I'm going to make a list of, I have a list of questions, right? And this is all in the new Inner You that I'm building, the digital program that I'm building. And so I have the script, like I have everything I just laid out that I taught for my new program that's going to be coming out. But anyway, I'm going to give you all the questions an individual should ask themselves to get to I am versus am I. Okay? And this is a way to really like coax yourself to tell the truth about your vision. Okay? So who are you? I am who? Right? I am. So who are you? What are you putting an end to? What do you refuse to accept? What do you take responsibility for? What's your life about? What are you here to do? What do you stand for? What are you taking on next? And what are you promising? These are all questions that lead to I am statements. They don't leave any room for am I. Right? You get that?
Yeah.
And so unless you actually answer it, it won't create the state. And so the fun of being human is to develop your own language and the way to talk inside your own inner dot. Like, what am I saying to myself? What am I believing? What am I conjuring? Right? And so those questions build an I am statement for yourself. She disappeared.
No, I'm here.
Where'd you go?
No, I'm here.
Is it over?
No, I'm here. Oh, what happened? Oh, we're still here. Sorry, guys. We lost Lauren. Are you here?
I'm here.
Oh, I don't know what happened. That was so strange.
It was a really interesting, we'll call it a fluke in the matrix.
Oh, okay. So there's a link that I put up for people that could just see for the Inner You that you were just talking about, the program. But I love all of the questions. I'm pretty sure we got all of them before we got cut off. To create that I am statement so that it feels more solid and it feels more like something that you're going to implement into your life as opposed to a question. And I think that part of why the sort of questioning of imposter syndrome is so insidious is because it bleeds into everything, right? It's not just your career. it's your relationships, it's what you're writing, it's what you're posting on Instagram. It's everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And one of the, one of the jokes I make is we have PhDs in fear, not PhD in like getting everything we want. Like the human condition has PhDs in fear, right? And so what that really means is our language, how we talk to ourselves and talk about ourselves and talk about the world is not, it's just it feeds that beast. Well, I don't know if I can get that. I hope I can find the right person. I hope I can get the right doctor. I hope I could, whatever it is, it's an I hope, right?
Yeah.
Versus I am, I will, you got this, right? And so if you've never sat down and really you can't write enough language to teach yourself to talk great to yourself and others. You just can't, right? And so what I would tell people to do is to write this up and put it in the bathroom. And, when you're sitting there just a little longer, right? Don't sit on the phone scrolling through email. Read your damn statement every day.
Yeah.
Right? If you're not doing it, you're not doing it.
Right.
Okay. And if you start to do it, even if you don't believe it, the more and more you read it and read it and read it, the more and more you'll hear, am I? You'll start to understand better and better how to shift the gear. You got to invent the gears to shift the gears.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you tools for language so a person can start to go, oh, I have power. Oh, I could do this. Oh, it's in me. Oh, I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I thank you because you're a badass for that. But I want to ask you one more thing before we're done. Why does I hope bother me so much? Can you tell me about that?
I hope. Well, I hope is a victim. Okay, I hope. I hope for world peace. Right? We actually, because we don't think we have any power, right?
Yeah.
When you're hoping, you have no say. I hope they start printing better news. That's pretty much as much power as you got, right? I hope the president goes down. What? Right? I have no power in that. So when you're hoping, it's acknowledging a lack of power. Right? And so when you're hoping things for yourself, you literally don't believe in them, or you're not taking the actions to do something about it.
Yeah.
So hope is an incredibly good indicator of not my responsibility.
Wow.
Right? When you're hoping, you have no responsibility.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And just so you know, I'm hoping for the government, right? I'll vote, but it doesn't even upset me in that place because I really don't have any power.
Right.
And I really am hoping.
Yeah, me too, I guess.
I hope I don't have to move to Canada.
Here's as long as you have Skype, you can live wherever. I want you to be.
I'm just, it's all a bunch of bad jokes right there, but it's a place to go when we're hoping we don't think we have power. And so if you're hoping for love in your life, if you're hoping to lose weight, if you're hoping to get a better job, if you're hoping for anything, hope you change that behavior, hope one day it's upsetting, it'll upset you enough. That literally means defeated in my language.
Wow.
Sorry.
No, I love it. I think it's great. Okay, so thank you for doing this again. People, you guys that are tuning in, this is going to be like a monthly occurrence. I'm going to do it more than every month, but this is very special because Lauren's like a badass and she's out there doing things all the time and working with people and creating programs and facilitating how to, get more connected to your inner power. And this is a really huge treat for us to be able to snag her to do this. So if you're wanting more information, we have a link up and I'll put it up again if you're interested in taking the Inner You course. So can you just tell the viewers a little bit more about what Inner You is?
So for 20 years, I've been developing my method. I developed it at MIT over 7 years, and then have 2 courses at Stanford business school. Like, I've been developing language and content my whole career, and then setting it up so it could be taught at universities. So what happened with Inner You is basically it's 10 sessions of walking you through the whole method, though. Yeah, and it's every story I tell and homework I give so that you don't need me. Right. And I'm not telling different stories to Rosie. It's the exact same damn stories, except they're more concise and have less cursing. Right. So
yeah, that's true.
Right. So and it's very similar to the process in the book, but way more comprehensive. And if you like to listen and really have the homework laid out for you, Inner You is a much better bet. Mm-hmm. Right. But if you love to read a book, Maybe It's You is the same process.
Yeah.
Much cheaper. Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But the program is way more in depth, and it really takes you through the steps, and it basically holds your hand along the way so that you can go through each process. So I definitely recommend it. I think it's incredible, and it's a great way to really feel that sense of empowerment. And if you guys are wanting more, if you want to hear the conversation we had about Lauren's book, Maybe It's You, you can look into Radically Loved Radio, into the podcast, and check out the episodes. And we have a couple more episodes coming out in the next couple of months. So please stay tuned for that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I guess that's it. Is there anything else you want to tell people?
How much I love you.
Paid advertisement. No, I'm just kidding.
I think I love your authenticity. I love your commitment to people. I would follow you anywhere, anytime, every time. So as you acknowledge me, I'm like, takes one to know one. Thank you. And anyone who's out there who loves you is another one of you, right? Like it's time for the world to like step up. Yeah. And the odds that they're listening right now are very good. Okay. Yeah. So anything anybody needs from me or wants from me through you, they should just ask, because you're a rock star. Nice. Well, thank you I love you so freaking much. So much. And thank you for doing this. And I'm excited. So everyone will be back next month for another live. And if you are interested in having Lauren answer any of your particular questions, please, you can type them into the comments on this broadcast, or you can email them to info@radicallylove.com, or you can message us on social. So just I will take that very seriously. And in Inner You, people don't know this, we have weekly coaching sessions with one of my truly remarkable coaches. And and that comes with the package, right? It doesn't for years, forever. Yeah. So it's really great. Bye. Cool. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye. Ending. Done.